prosperity and right action until they appear. And Emma Curtis Hopkins in Scientific Christian Mental Practice wrote, "You have no idea how soon you forget evil. Evil being that which no longer serves you. That to me is evil. So you have no idea how soon you forget evil when you have sight of the good. The sight of good, surely acting with you, makes you love it. Makes you love it." Well, many of you know I start each day with a spiritual practice and a statement of truth. This month, I used a word which is wonder. My word of this month is wonder. And then I create a phrase that supports or surrounds that wonder. And my phrase is this: I live in awe and wonder as prosperity in action. I live in awe and wonder as prosperity in action. And what this does is it reminds me of myself, my true self, that I am in action as. Nothing to get, nothing to reach out and hold on to. Where I'm coming from is something I already know moving through me, which then supports me, propels me. Opportunities come in to say, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. This is supporting the consciousness that you have come with. And so this activity is caused to a greater mental concept of prosperity consciousness. It's all consciousness. Third statement in the definition of prosperity. We must know that everywhere we go, we meet friendship, love, human interest, and helpfulness. I say when we move into each day with this intention and with this awareness that the world evolves for us and not against us. We have within our minds the capacity to imagine. How much do you imagine? How big is your concept of yourself? I look around the room and I see so many people who've done amazing things since I've known them. College educations and careers and families and just so many things. Overcome a lot of physical speed bumps, if you will. Come through them. Come through them. And who knew? Who knew it would be like this right now? I stand in awe and wonder. Who knew? Who knew we'd be here? I didn't know this 5 years ago. Had no idea. I had a concept in my mind. I had a feeling. But I stay in the awe and the wonder and the awareness as the process comes forward. And if something comes along that says, I don't want that, if there's a bit of chaos along the way, I say, I must have a little bit of confusion going on here in my mind. Let me rethink that. Let me see that differently. Because it does come up. You say you want something, you say you want to have more prosperity, and then what happens sometimes is you have just the opposite. Because the old idea, doesn't give up easily. So the awareness, the consciousness, the intention, the focus to the newness is important. Last week I spoke of mental equivalence as an idea of completeness of our feelings, of our feeling oneness with who we are and of our spiritual reality as divine in nature. And so to say to ourselves, life is ever giving of itself, we must have the mental equivalent of wholeness and of oneness. We must embrace a mental atmosphere which says, the greater good is mine in this life. And then live without restriction with that idea. And all of this, we here at the center, we teach spiritual practices. And there's not just one. Many of you have had classes. No. We offer, in one 10-week class, there'll be 8 or 10 or 12 different types of spiritual practices suggested and offered. Not only by your facilitators, but as students show up. Everybody has a wonderful concept within themselves. And it's to bring it out and to be a comfortable way for you to do a spiritual practice. Here we teach spiritual mind treatment and meditation, among other things, and the use of a practitioner. If you've never used a practitioner, boy, oh boy, I'll give a testimony. We all have great practitioners here, and each one I am pleased to call upon. So, because each one brings a different perspective. And so when I need a practitioner, I trust that part of myself too, as part of my prosperity consciousness, to be drawn to the perfect person. Okay, the fifth and the last is, success and prosperity are spiritual attributes belonging to all people, but not necessarily used by all people. So let me start with, what is an attribute? An attribute in this instance is an attribute of spirit, which is an idea which is inherent or common within or to an idea. Now, when we talk about spirit and God and infinite intelligence, the attributes we use are things like joy and harmony and light and beauty and peace and life, wisdom. All of that under one banner. If you take each one of you and list all of your individual parts of your body, you would not be complete without any one of them. So you contain your own personal attributes that support you in the physical sense. And you also have, supporting all of that, the spiritual attributes of God. So I believe in order to celebrate prosperity, we need only have a consciousness filled to the brim with as many attributes of God as we can accept. And that for me is the acceptance. And then, keep topping it off. Keep adding, keep adding, keep adding. Because unlike a gas tank on a car, consciousness has no limit. It really cannot be topped off. It's never, it's overflowing, but it can never be filled because there's just so much of itself to give. Celebrating prosperity is knowing that we are in our bliss, living the life that we want in this moment, and feeling loved and supported by our own great ideas. Did you know you have great ideas? Did you ever write them down? Did you ever act on those? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Many times we look at our life and we don't see the good ideas that have come along. We don't embrace the goodness that's come our way. We see maybe what's happening now, and we might not like it too much. But remember, you've had good ideas. You've had great ideas. And like consciousness, which we are, there's no limit. There's no limit. There's more. There's always more. Anthropologist Ashley Montago said, "The moments of happiness we enjoy takes us by surprise. It is not that we seize them, but that they seize us." I love that. In that surprise and that wonder of living in the moment, we are seized by this happiness factor when we're living in our moment. So, beloved, celebrating true prosperity is when you are so living in the present, you know only this moment as all you require. as all you require. Don't let the next moment be one of distraction that lures you away from who you truly are. Because it's easy to do. The world is pretty tempting. I would encourage the one behind those doors, the food. That's a temptation I always say yes to, but that's my choice. Walt Whitman wrote, "Afoot and light-hearted, I take the open road. Healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me, leading wherever I choose." So remember, beloveds, we outpicture who we are. The universe is always for us. We are supported in love. You and I are the gifts of the infinite. And by claiming prosperity and its consciousness, life provides in wondrous ways. Always has, done, and shall continue to do. And so it is. Stay.